Imagine, if you will, that you have one flag in which to place all your surf warnings for the week. And you need to apply these warnings one by one because you only have one flag. In this project, we're going to take one of these surf warnings, like high dangerous surf, place it onto the flag, and get it to warp and bend into the contours of the flag. But wait, there's more. We're going to shade it so it appears as if it is lit in the same way as the flag. Yes, it's true. All of that will be done with the Liquify tool. Let's get our project started. Let's start with our original image here. Today's surf conditions, is it high surf, dangerous conditions? Is it going to be jellyfish alert? Or is it going to be monster from the ocean? You choose. The audience says monster from the ocean is today's project. You may think that I'm going to jump right into the Liquify tool and get started. Well, you'd be wrong, because I'm going to create a freezer area or freezer alpha channel that will assist us in distorting this image into the contours of this flag. Just you wait and see. First, I'm going to turn off my target layer here by clicking here on the eye in the Layers palette, turning off its visibility just for a moment, because we're now going to go to the Channels palette and we're going to look for one of our channels, red, green, or blue. You decide which one has the best contrast, I'm pointing to it now, to be used for this project. It's the blue channel in this case. I'm going to click on the blue channel and drag it down here to the base of the Channels palette. This will create a copy. Remember, don't work on the original. You will destroy your image quickly. We now have our copy right here. The first step in working with this copy and turning it into the perfect alpha channel for this project is to increase its contrast. I'm going to bring up the Levels dialog. Image, Adjustments, Levels. By simply moving the black point in and the white point in, like this, I've increased the contrast. That looks pretty good. I'm going to click OK. Step number 2 in creating this alpha channel mask and freeze area is to blur it a bit. It's a little bit too harsh right now. I've tested this with the Liquify tool and it needs to be softer. So we're going to go to Filter, Blur, Gaussian Blur. Let's take this up to a value. Let's stop there and take a look at it. That looks pretty good. In general, I'm trying to get to a point where I have not destroyed the flag, yet I have softened the curvatures and everything moves smoothly across the flag. It will make things work better. I'm going to click OK. Next, let's go back to our image, clicking up here on RGB, back to my Layers palette, and let's turn the visibility of our target layer. Notice this, it's targeted, it's highlighted. The layer that you're targeting is the layer that you're about to distort. Let's go up to Filter, Liquify. It's now time to get started. Here we are in a new and improved Liquify dialog. Some of the features I'd like to point out are here, the Turbulence tool, a great new feature, and over here, the ability to load a mesh and save a mesh to replay on other images. And the most important of all, down here, Backdrop. By clicking on this checkbox, I can display my image's layers. That's right, I can display other layers found in this image. In fact, I can target specific layers if I want to by clicking on this button. In this particular project, I'm going to select Background. I want to isolate it just to one layer. Notice I can set the opacity for that backdrop. I'm going to leave this at 60% for this project. Next, I'm going to use this tool, the Shift Pixel tool, for this project. This is a great tool. By moving my cursor to the right, my pixels will move up. By moving my cursor to the left, my pixels will move down. And that's the technique I'm going to use in this project. However, before I start, we must now add our freezer area. Remember, clicking here, the blue copy, is it all coming back to you? We made this earlier in this video. This is the grayscale channel being overlaid over our image. It's like a quick mask. Notice the orange areas displaying over the image? That orange area represents the areas that will be frozen. The more transparent areas indicate areas that are open and can be distorted. You're starting to get the idea. By using this frozen area, I can then control the distortion. Watch this. I currently have a brush size of 267. And I have dropped my brush pressure to 12 for this particular project. I do not want it to happen quickly. So I'm now going to go from left to the right. And as I do this, notice the pixels move up. I'm making one pass there, and another pass there, and maybe another one there. Now, I'm going to invert the freeze area here. Pretty cool. So the same image inverted, and now I'm going to move from right to left. Interesting. Going across the image. So I can make the highlights and shadows move in a different way across the surface of the flag. You're starting to understand. Now we click OK. So here we have our distorted graphic over our flag. The illusion is not quite done yet. We need to now add the highlights and shadows of the flag over this image to give us the total illusion. I'm going to first turn off the visibility of the graphic that we just distorted. Then I'm going to next click on the background image. This is an important step, selecting the background image now, because we're going to go to the channels palette again to use one of the channels again to help us create that overlay. Again, the channel we want is the blue channel. It just happens to be the best one in this project. With the blue channel targeted, as you see here, I'm going to go up to Select, Select All. Then Edit, Copy. Then let's go back over to our layers, target our image again here by clicking on it so it previews all the channels together. And I'm going to turn back on the visibility of my image by clicking here. It's also targeted at this moment. Now we're going to create a couple new layers. To do that, I'm selecting Layer, New Layer. The trick here is I want to group this with the previous layer by clicking here and clicking OK. Take a look at this. It's now grouping this. So the graphics I place into this layer will only preview through the shape of the layer below it. Let's give this a try. We're now going to Edit, Paste. We're going to paste the grayscale image from our channels palette we picked up earlier, the blue channel. Remember? It's now pasting into the shape of our image below. Group with previous. You can also turn this on and off by holding down the Option or Alt key and targeting the line between these two layers. There's off and it's on. It's a great way to quickly mask one layer inside of another. Cool. Let's now duplicate this layer number 1 by dragging it down here to the base of the layers palette. It's getting a little bit complex, but I'm almost done. With this topmost layer still targeted, I'm going to adjust the mode to multiply. That's step number 1. then targeting the layer below it, the second layer here, and selecting overlay. It's the combination of an overlay and a multiply that gives us the illusion we see now. Incredible, you're saying? So, there you have it. The ability to use the Liquify tool's new features to create an illusion like this.